Um. So yeah. Um. So I was already having a really bad year. Um. Really, really bad year. Just in general, it was not the best time in my life. I was really upset. I was really angry with myself because I thought I'm no longer. I thought my athletic career would be over because yeah, it was it was it. We wasn't winning any games. We won like 3 to 4 games. Uh, and then it was the third to last game of the season. We were on defense. We was already losing the game. Um, I was outside linebacker. It was within inside the 30, hour 30. They ran the ball coming to my side, and I was, I think, strong. I think I was a Sam. Um, it was running the ball, outside run coming up my way. I came in to, I came in. I stepped up. He noticed that I was coming in, so he he cut back just a little bit. So he had to go through the line. Um, and then he still persisted on coming to my side. Um, then I tried to tackle him. I missed. Well, he slipped through my arms. But while still on the ground, I was trying to make the tackle, but I landed like this. So my arm was flat, like my wrist was flat on the floor, and I was gonna come up to try to make another attempt to tackle him. But a pulling guard, I didn't see him. He fell on top of me. He was a big boy. And while my arm was still up, made my hand, he made my whole hand just flat, flesh with my forearm. And all I heard was snap, crackle, and pop. Um, and my wrist broke. Um, I didn't feel it at first, but after the next play, and they ran the same play, my side, I tried to make the tackle. Then all of a sudden, a surge of pain, and I couldn't tackle him with um my right arm, and it hurt a lot. It hurt a lot. I ran to the sideline. I was like, Coach, I need to sit out. I need to sit out. My wrist hurts. He took a timeout. He looked at it. My wrist was already fleshed like this. And then he flipped it over. You just heard snap, 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 snap. He was like, and then he flipped it right back. And he said, "You'll be all right, son. Go put some duct tape on and keep playing." Um, that was, I was a, it was heartbreaking. Um, it really was. A heartbreaking moment, but um, yeah, man, I remember it was like yesterday. But nonetheless, it ended my season. Um, it ended my season. Um, and yeah, Um, then what happened? Alongside with football, I was playing ultimate frisbee. I started playing ultimate frisbee in 8th grade. Didn't play in 9th grade because the high school I went to didn't have ultimate frisbee. In 10th grade, this the new school, the new school called the new school did not have any sports, so I helped start an athletic ultimate frisbee program. Um, we sucked the first year. And then after I broke my wrist, it was going into ultimate frisbee season, and yeah, I just had to start getting ready for ultimate frisbee season. Um, and I still was on the pursuit for college football scholarships. So I started going to football combines, football camps, anything football related. I was there. Um, and I was a really good ultimate frisbee player. Um, I think I won 2 MVP awards and 3 All-Star awards in my high school career. Um, so I was pretty decent to say the least. Um, so during ultimate frisbee season, towards like late February, early March, I found out that East Atlanta Mustangs, my football team, disbanded and no longer existed. Um, and my opportunity to play high school football ended right then and there. But we kept looking for other teams or potential high schools I could play for. And there was one team in Gwinnett County that was having spring practice and slash tryouts, and that was the good old Georgia Force. Um, they have been, in terms of homeschool and private school football, they were one of the best. They were the year that I was going in. They just came off winning a national homeschool football championship. Before that, they have been in numerous state championships. They've no matter what, they're in terms of like homeschool football, the Georgia Force was the Patriots. Like they were hands down one of the best teams in the nation in terms of homeschool football and private school football. So I tried out and I made the team. Um, and I knew that with this new system, I was on a really good team with a bunch of great athletes. I am for sure to get some college recognition. But through and even going into my senior year, I was still determined to find a football scholarship. Um, I found out that I had walk-on offers from Florida International University and Georgia State University. So that means if I got admitted into the school through my academics, I would have a spot on the team. Not necessarily play and have the same benefits as having a football scholarship, but I was still able to be on the team. Um, so I considered those two Division 1 schools that I could have played for. And then I eventually picked up Kennesaw State. um, which is also FCS school. Um, and so, but again, there weren't football scholarships; they were just walk-on offers. So going into my senior year, um, it was a shock for me. It was the first time I actually had to learn a playbook instead of just relying off of my physical ability. We had the Appalachian State's playbook, so it was pretty hefty, to say the least. I had to memorize signals, and I just had to be on go, 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 go. So learning the playbook was very hard for me. Even going throughout the season, I never really understood the playbook. I was really only called on the plays that I knew pretty well. Um, but still, going into my senior year, first game of the year, made my first touchdown ever as a high school football player that year. That my first game of my senior year, I scored my first touchdown. Um, it was exhilarating feeling. I finally made a milestone. Um, it was a lot of fun for me, and we had a lot of steam rolling into the next game because we were playing GHSA school. So that's a higher tier school. And then going into the second week, we was gonna play a school from South Carolina. That was pretty bad, to say the least. We was already smoking them out like 40 something to 0 in like late third quarter. Um, we had the ball. We was bound to score. um, and I couldn't remember what play it was, but I was running back. I think I was lead blocking for somebody, but I had to. But all of a sudden, there was a really big boy. He was a defensive tackle, and he just dove straight for my knees. Um, I was able to recognize that he was going straight for my knees, and I tried to jump over him. Um, Sadly, I didn't get enough air. He hit my calf, but still he had a lot of force and a lot of weight on him. So that even though I was still in the air, all of that force just went straight into my leg, and I did a barrel roll on the floor, landed on my side when I hit the floor. I tried to move my leg. I couldn't. A bunch of pain surged through. They stopped the game. I got helped off the field by my coaches. The team trainer looked at my knee. He said, "You might have torn your MCL." This going into the second. This is the towards the end of the second game of my senior year. And I am getting the news that I might have torn my MCL and my season might be over just like that. So he gave me a brace. My mom did some Chinese voodoo to it. I sat out for a week. And yeah, I played with a potentially partially, and then I learned later that I actually partially torn my MCL. And I was playing with a torn tendon. Eventually, it fully healed. I had a swift recovery, but I still played with a partially torn tendon in my knee. But yeah, still racking up touchdowns, and we went to the state championship. We lost the state championship, but we still had a solid year. I had a solid career. And yeah, my high school um, sports career, basically. Um, I got the Posse Scholarship to the College of Worcester, and they hit me up and they found out that I played college football. Oh, played football in college, and they asked me if I wanted to play, and I was like, oh yeah, like this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted a football scholarship. I didn't get necessarily a football scholarship because of my athletic talents, but I got an academic scholarship, and I was able a full tuition win. Shout out to Posse 12. um, and yeah, I was really excited. So now I became an official college athlete. Um, so going into my my college career, started training more. Um, and it was on. Yeah, I was working my dream. Got to campus. The second I got to campus for football camp, all my motivation, all my competition, my drive, for football, it disappeared. Um, my love for football, my love to play football just went away right when I needed it most. Um, and I I just didn't want to play anymore. Um, Never understood the playbook. Um, the physical aspect wasn't that challenging for me. It was mainly the mental aspect of learning the playbook that really hurt me the most. And obviously, if you don't know the playbook, you just don't get looked at all. Like you get completely disregarded. And at the College of Worcester, nothing against the coaches or the team or my teammates. I'm still very much in tune with the organization, so I have nothing but love and respect for the team and the coaches. But the coaches are very evident that they have favorites. And if you're not on their list of favorites, you're pretty much just nothing, really. And football became a source of depression for me. Something that I held so much to my heart became a source of depression for me going into my first semester as a college student and as a college athlete. Um, and towards the end of the season, I just said, I don't care about football anymore. I'm going to just go through the motions my way. So I started showing up to practice 30 minutes late, not showing up to any meetings, just going through the motions. I was completely emotionless, just going through the. I was really depressed. I really had a time period of depression for that time. I felt like no one was there for me. I felt alone. Um, I had okay grades. Could have been better. I was getting tortured by my mom for not having good grades. I felt like I was a failure. I felt like everything that I wasn't, and everything that I wasn't, I wasn't. Um, I felt like I was just completely bombarded by life, and no one was going to save me. Um, but eventually, towards the end of the season, that's when football started becoming fun for me, because when I stopped caring about what my result was on the field and how my coaches looked at me, I just started doing my own thing. I started having fun, started goofing off. I started um, just becoming the class clown on the football team, and I enjoyed it. My teammates enjoyed it, and I overall became a better athlete because of it. But obviously, becoming a class clown is not really likable by coaches, which is perfectly understandable. Um, and yeah, I just I tapped into my true self. When I tapped into my true self and applied it to the football field, that's when I started becoming better, and having more fun, with football. Um, and obviously that led to more conflicts with coaches outside of football, and but still, like, football wasn't really a thing that I had the same love and affection for. So, um, and me and the coaches eventually became started butting heads, in terms of my values and like my behavior, and none of my behavior issues were crazy. It was just they were just it was foolishness, to be honest. On the stuff that we bucked heads about. Um. So that was my first semester in college, and then my second semester I started running track, for the college as well, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Some of my teammates from football that I loved and adored, they ran track with me, and it was great. It was hard work, but it was great. Um, and a lot of the football coaches didn't really like that, because we were no longer under their supervision. We were under the supervision of the track team instead of the football team. Um, just to make a long story short. Um, and whenever people started talking about, oh yeah, we have to go back to football for the spring season, um, I always had this like pit in my heart. Like I didn't want to go back to football. Um, as much as I tried to convince myself to, like, oh, we have to start getting into football mode again. I just couldn't. Like, I loved the work aspect. I loved training for football. I loved everything outside of anything that didn't relate to Worcester football. I loved about football, but I just hated playing for the college. Um, it really just I I did not want to experience what I experienced my first semester ever again. Um, and then I watched this YouTube video about how I'm no longer a D1 football player. Shout out to IB the Prodigy for making that video. But he had a similar experience like I did. And then he said, he knew that God only had two things for him. He knew that it's either he's gonna play football somewhere else, or football's no longer for him. And he knew that he didn't want to play football anywhere else because it would be too far for his family. I couldn't remember why he made that decision, but he knew he didn't want to play football anywhere else. So he knew that football is no longer for him. God told him that football is no longer has a place in his life anymore. Um, and that message stuck with me. And just like me, I felt like I had those two decisions myself. It's either I was going to play football somewhere else or not play football ever again. One playing football somewhere else, I don't want to play pro. So playing football somewhere else would be kind of pointless. And also, I don't want to lose my scholarship, which is an academic scholarship, which is only for that school. Um, I don't want to lose my scholarship either, so it left me with that one answer. That football no longer has a place in my life anymore. So I started contemplating whether to quit football. Uh, and I was playing around with this thought for several months. Towards the end of track season, which was cut short because of the Rona, um, but of the pandemic. But still, the thought of quitting football, I was playing around um, with my friends and family. Um, and eventually, I came up with the decision. I was like, yes, I'm going to quit football. And when I made that decision, whenever I said that, I felt relief, but I also felt that I had unfinished business with football. So I knew I couldn't leave my team behind. I love my team. I really do. I love them boys like they're my brothers. Like I couldn't give up on the mission nor or the team in that aspect. I just knew I just couldn't play ever again. It was too rough for me. I just knew I couldn't play, but I knew I wanted to still be involved with the team some way somehow. Um and then my dad was like, that aspect, find something that you love and try to do it with something else that you love. Obviously, if you haven't been watching my channel, I love making workout videos. I love making sports videos or just videos in general. So I came up with the idea. Let me make football videos for the football team. And this project is I'm finalizing this project, but this is something I really want to do. And then one day, I just had a surge of courage. I was like, you know what? I'm officially doing it. I'm going to quit the team. And yeah, I called my coach yesterday. I said, hey, coach, I don't want this to be a question of my commitment, but I can't play football anymore. It was rough on me physically and well, not really physically. It was just tough on. Excuse me, it's late. It was really tough on me mentally. And I just can't. I can't play. But I would love to help out on the team some way somehow. With the talents that I have. Right now, supposedly he's going to be in contact with my head coach. Shout out to Coach C. He's going to be in contact with him, and hopefully my idea to make videos for the football team are just helping out in the office or the administrative or recruiting. Yeah, just finding some way somehow to help the team out to win football games. I feel like that would be the best place for me to help the team out. Man, never would I thought I would be making a 40+ minute video about my life. And eventually I'll be posting this video on YouTube. But whoever's watching this, yeah, that was my athletic journey and how it impacted my life. Uh, yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next episode. um, I was cringy.